had never danced in my life until I saw breaking. And that's pretty much the same situation with any young kid who sees breaking. It's just like drawn to it, you try to do it, and you look a little crazy when you first try it, and you get schooled. So anyway, my cousin started teaching me, and I started to develop. I developed really fast, and 6 months later, because I had developed so fast, I started teaching him. So it got to that situation where like the student became the teacher, right, and the teacher became the student. Eventually, a lot of that was happening, and there was this one moment where, well, first of all, when you were that young and the people who were judging you were like maybe 2, 3 years older than you, they're like adults to a 10-year-old. Sure. So we would go to them and be like, yo, check this out. And they'd be like, oh, that shit is trash. Not trash, because that wasn't the word back then. But like, they'd say, yo, that shit is hurt. But we grew up in the hood, so there were no like soft feelings or anything like that. So we'd be like, all right, cool, I'll be back next week. So every week we practice, and go back, and we diss. And I don't want to say actually not this, because I would say it was ghetto constructive criticism. Which is like, yo, that's just whack. Word it is, all right, cool, I'm gonna work on it. No hard feelings. And I would keep doing that. And eventually I was practicing, and I was going into what's called a chair freeze. And I over-rotated, and I ended up on my back. And I was dancing in a small tenement building hallway. Probably the size of 2.5 doorways wide. So I over-rotated, going into the chair freeze, and all of a sudden, I realized, oh shit, my legs are gonna hit the wall, I'm gonna hurt my feet. So my legs went in the air, and I whipped them around and balled up. That forced me to go into the spinning motion. And that's how what's known to be the backspin today was created. But when I did that, he was like, yo, do that again. And I was like, do what? I had no clue that I had just accidentally evolved something. And same thing with the windmill, which was originally called the continuous backspin. When you go into backspin, then go into another one, it's boom, 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 boom. Hopefully people have seen that by now. But another situation, like, yo, do that again. I'd be like, what? Now this time I was trying to come out of a backspin and go into a chair freeze, over-rotated again, and then went on my back again. And so these are things where you figure we're like, at that point, I'm like 11, 12 years old, and we're practicing without anyone telling us, you better go practice. No, we were just hungry. We wanted to battle, we wanted to be in a dope crew, and we wanted to be recognized by the best girls in the hood. I mean, we're young, testosterone's off the chain. Right. So, I mean, in the hood, that's what it's all about. I'm sorry, that's just the facts. A lot of people say, oh, we created hip-hop because of blah, blah. Like, no, shut up. Like, you did not create hip-hop with some sort of agenda at the age of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and act like you sat down and said, I'm going to create something that's going to allow a form of expression for disenfranchised people living in poverty. No, we were having a good time. Battles, you didn't have beef because you knew someone on the other side was strapped or had a knife or whatever, and they were brave, or acting brave, or knew they had to just, like, all of a sudden be brave if some shit jumped off. So, fights were fights, dancing with battles were battles. Right. Two separate worlds.
Sorry, the movies got it wrong. Okay.
Yeah, the movies are crazy, man.
Speaking of movies, how old were you the first movie that you did?
First movie, I mean, we had done some documentaries prior to the movies, but we were already doing documentaries since 1982. Okay. And then the first movie we did, I was 17. No, bullshit. I was 16 when we filmed it. It came out when I was 17, and that was Flashdance. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone here has ever seen Flashdance, Yeah, no, raise a hand. Okay, yeah. So I was, there was a part at the beginning of Flashdance, maybe like 15 minutes into it, and they show some kids breaking on the street. So that was me and my boys, and then at the end, when it looks like she's spinning on her back for the audition, that's actually me in a leotard and wig and all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. I still get the royalty check.
Hey, that's an iconic scene. Okay then. All right.
Yeah. I was no. Here's the thing. I was 17. I'm a Puerto Rican kid from the Bronx, going through my machismo and my peach fuzz coming in, and they wanted me to shave, and I'm like, yo, nah, man. I'm just getting rid of the little boy look, and the director, who became a really famous director, Adrian Lyon. I don't know this dude from a hole in the wall. It's just like some white dude or whatever. I'm like, he's telling me that, you know, and I only say he's a white dude because I'm like this ghetto-ass Puerto Rican kid, and they're trying to negotiate with me, and I'm like, give me that money, man. And
so they paid you to shave your
my
newfound mustache.
Yeah, that was rough for me. Latinos aren't trying to shave their mustaches at that age. That's it. No, it's like, nah.
So, all right, that was your first movie. And then, what was the first movie that put you into a specific stratosphere?
No, that was Flashdance.
Was it that one?
It was Flashdance because I remember in '83, after Flashdance came out, I was in Hawaii, and 6,000 miles away from home. My idea of fame is really within a neighborhood, not a TV screen or anything like that. And this dude comes up, Caucasian dude comes up to me, or he's sitting next to me. I'm like by the water, sitting on the rocks, and he's like, "Hey, you are David Letterman." And I'm like bugging because I'm 6,000 miles away from home. Nobody's supposed to know me here, and this dude saw me on TV. And it must be. I don't know if that's hard to imagine. I mean, just remove all social media and YouTube, and then imagine how hard it is to get some sort of popularity or fame.
Sure.
So that was when I realized, like, oh shit, I got some fame. And if you're coming from New York, the whole idea of hip hop is the idea of out for fame. Even though it's just in the hood, like if you're a graffiti writer, you want to be on every train ride so that those trains, once they hit the stations, everyone's looking at these canvases all around the city. You'd be considered what was called a king, king of New York, stuff like that. So I felt like, wow, I'm on top of the world. But I was still shy at the same time. I didn't know how to respond to it.
You didn't say anything?
I didn't know what to say. Like, first of all, I'm the dude that was like, yeah, man, word. I didn't have much to say back then, and when it came out, it was really ghetto. I mean, I was just living my best, fabulous ghetto life. So that's all I knew. And it was something that I don't. Other than that moment, it didn't impact how I moved forward. It was just like, oh shit, wow, that was cool. Like some white guy in Docker pants and a blue shirt recognized me, which is not the norm for New York.
Right.
You're black or Puerto Rican. In those times, there was no association with that other side.
Right.